Roundup with me, Nishani Vigera. First, let's take a look at the stories that made headlines throughout the week. Central Bank raises $1.5 billion in sovereign bond issue. Supreme Court issues interim order preventing implementation of recent revisions to VAT and NBT. And Board of Investment signs new investment agreements worth $982 million in June. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka says it has successfully issued $500 million 5.5-year and $1 billion 10-year international sovereign bonds on behalf of the government. It is Sri Lanka's 10th US dollar bond issuance and the first dual tranche offering. The central bank said despite the high volatility in the global financial markets following Brexit, bonds saw strong investment interest from a wide range of high-quality investors. Orders totaled $2.5 billion US for the first 5.5 years tranche and $3 billion for the 10-year tranche. Both 5.5 and 10-year tranches were priced well inside the initial price guidance of 6.125% area and 7.125 area, with a coupon of 5.75% and 6.825% respectively. The central bank says this is a testament to investors' continued confidence in Sri Lanka and their positive sentiment on the outlook of the economy of the country. The Supreme Court on Monday issued an interim order preventing the implementation of the recent revisions made to value-added tax and the nation-building tax until relevant legislation is passed by Parliament. The bench of judges comprising Chief Justice K. Sripavan and Judges Bhuvanaka Aluvihare and Prasanna Jayawardena issued the order. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said the interim order is not expected to have any adverse impact on the government's revenue collection. In a special statement, the Prime Minister said the revised rates will be applicable with effect from 2nd May 2016. The VAT Amendment Bill has already been presented to Parliament for the first reading on 8th July 2016 and the second reading is expected on the 23rd of July 2016. In this backdrop, the Prime Minister said the unity government, which has a clear majority in Parliament, expects the legislative process to be completed before the end of the month of July 2016. Meanwhile, on Thursday, State Minister for Finance Lakshmana Abeyewardene said that the VAT Amendment Bill will not be taken up for a second reading on the 20th of July. The VAT Amendment Bill was presented to Parliament for the first reading by Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake on July 8th.
රජයත් එක්ක දැනට කටයුතු කරන ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ කණ්ඩායමක් හැටියට ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ උපදෙස් පරිදි VAT සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි සාකච්ඡාවක් පැවැත්තුවා. මේ අනුව ලබන 17 වෙනිදා උදේ අධිකාරී ජනාධිපතිතුමාට මේ පිළිබඳ පුළුල් වාර්තාවක් දෙන්න ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ කණ්ඩායම හැටියට අපි තීන්දුවක් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒ අනුව කොමිටියක් පත් කරා. ඊයින් පස්සේ තමයි ජනාධිපතිතුමා සමග සාකච්ඡා කරාට පස්සේ ජනාධිපතිතුමත් අගමැතිතුමත් ඒ පිළිබඳ අවසාන සාකච්ඡාවක් කරලා මේ පිළිබඳ තීන්දුවක් ගන්නේ කියලා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මම අද පැහැදිලිව කියනවා 20 වෙනිදා මේ පනත පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට එන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකට හේතුව තමයි අද වෙනකොට අධිකරණයට තවත් නඩුවක් ගොනු කරලා තියෙන නිසා ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ අධිකරණයේ නඩුවක් ගොනු කරලා තියෙනකොට පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගෙීමේ හැකියාවක් නැහැ. මොකද සති 3ක් යනවා මේ පිළිබඳ ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ අධිකරණය නැවත කැඳවීමක් කරනකොට. ඒ අනුව අපිට ඉතාමත් පැහැදිලි අපිට කාල සීමාවක් තියෙනවා. මේ කාල සීමාව ඇතුළත සාකච්ඡා කරලා සුදුසු පියවරක් ගැනීම සඳහා අපිට අවශ්‍ය පසුබිමක් සකස් කර ගන්න පුළුවන්කමක් ලැබෙනවා.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says government's 5-year economic plan will be ready within a few weeks. He said macroeconomic stability will be sustained through the plan.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed these views addressing the annual general meeting of the Indian CEO Forum in Colombo.
We are planning first is by 2020 to ensure the deficit is reduced to about 3.5%. All the investment incentives are no use if you haven't got a stable economy, and that depends on your deficit. To reduce the deficit, we've also got to increase our revenue. We were hitting a world record that we had given so many tax cuts and stopped collecting taxes that our revenue was by 2014 was about 12% of the GDP. We hoped by 2020 it will go up to 16%.
The Prime Minister said the country is not investing enough on infrastructure and that it will be solved when Megapolis plan is implemented. He said two of the bottlenecks for the country's future development will be electricity generation and human resources.
For us, a trade-driven economy means we must have free trade agreements. At the moment, we are discussing 4. One with India, restoring the GSP+, the FTA with Singapore and the FTA with China. Of this, the economic and technological cooperation agreement with India is important. Sri Lanka has always prospered from time immemorial when we had strong trade with India, and that trade is essential. It has to be a two-way trade for both of the countries. And I think, in my view, signing the agreement and getting it off the ground will make the southern part of the subcontinent the fastest growing sub-region of South Asia.
Stay with us for the Weekend Dialogue after this break.
Good evening and a warm welcome to Weekend Dialogue on Biz Roundup. Tonight in our studios, we'll discuss about a successful e-commerce platform in Sri Lanka. I've invited the Chief Executive Officer of MyDeal.lk to join us here on Weekend Dialogue, Mr. Kumar Melwani. Good evening and a warm welcome.
Hi.
It's good to have you here. A successful business that you've begun in 2011, I presume.
Right.
How has the journey been so far? You've ventured into a platform which was quite alien to us in Sri Lanka. I mean, doing business on the internet, of course, we had certain platforms coming up, but what was the challenge for you to enter into this business?
Well, we started this business in 2011. Before that, I used to, be in the e-commerce business. I launched many other platforms. And there was a company called Groupon in the US that was selling discounted items, where a person had to buy 10 items for the deal to get tipped. So we saw an opportunity in Sri Lanka. There were some other players also who had started in the market, but we felt that this is good for Sri Lanka because Sri Lankans love discounts and good deals. So we changed the business model a bit. So when a person buys a product, they can immediately come and get a voucher and come and collect the item, or it's delivered to them.
I'd like to talk a little more about how you initiated this venture. Was it the success of certain e-commerce platforms already in Sri Lanka that prompted you to start this business, or what was the idea behind it, the concept behind MyDeal.lk when you began this?
Well, I've always been a person who loves the internet and to do things with e-commerce, and like I said, that we had an opportunity. I saw a vacuum in the market that people wanted deals, and me and my partner, my founding partner, we used to do projects together. Like he used to develop the back end of websites, and I used to get the business, and we used to do stuff like that. So when I suggested this to my partner, okay, let's open this particular business, he said, okay, fine, let's do it together. We went 50-50. In fact, we both invested 50,000 rupees each. And we never looked back. I mean,
and now you're providing employment for about
73 people, which will go up to about 100 by the next 6 months.
Okay. I'd like to know, I mean, what challenges if we all encounter on a daily basis when you work on MyDeal.lk. This is an internet platform where you provide business deals for your consumers, customers to come online, check in, find a deal, get a voucher and, come into your office and purchase the products. Behind the concept, you should probably be going through a lot of challenges.
Well, in the beginning, it was very tough because, first of all, both of us started this business together, and we never took salaries because we wanted to build the company. For the first 1 year, we never took any salaries. And as we started, there was another partner who joined us. He used to work in Dubai. So the three of us got together, and we didn't have, we used to use our own resources to build this company up. and we started with 2 staff. And in the beginning, when you went up to these merchants and said, look, we want you to give a discount, they were not used to this thing of giving discounts. And when we tell them that you have to give a discount to the consumer, and again you have to give us a commission to sell this product, they never. So it was an uphill task to get deals on our platform. But over a period of time, and after you convince these people, it started flowing through. And now it's actually very easy, because a lot of people contact us and say, look, we can see your platform, we want to advertise on your business. And also in the beginning, to run a business and not have funding, like normally when you go up to a bank and say, look, I need X amount of money, they'll say, okay, you put in a fixed deposit or you give me some collateral and we'll lend you the money.
Right.
So that has been a challenge for us in the beginning. How are we going to sustain our business? How are we going to, run day to day? Because in the beginning we were not having much profits. We're not even, having much turnover. So we believed in the idea.
So when you talk about all these challenges, you've overcome much, and today it's a successful platform. How do you look back?
Well, I think I attribute our success is mostly because of our staff, also our merchants who have come on board, and also our partners who have supported us throughout. So it's a culmination of many things that brought this whatever success. So
right. As you've been working for the past few years on this platform, what sort of consumer behavioral patterns have you examined? And what do you think would be the changing point of our consumer behavior in the next few years?
We started off as a 100% e-commerce business, but we saw that a lot of people don't have credit cards. So we changed the business model a bit. So a person who can book something online, but he doesn't want to use his credit card because of obvious reasons, but he can come to our showroom, see the product, and then decide whether he wants to buy it or not. So we're actually e-commerce, but we're omni-channel. That means a person can pay by cash, he can actually deposit in the bank, he can use his credit card, he can use mobile payment like Mcash or Easy Cash. So basically we have given different payment options to the customer. So normally a typical e-commerce business, you order something online and it's delivered to you within 3 working days or 2 working days. But here the person can buy the voucher online and come to our showroom and redeem it over the counter and walk away with the product.
Right. What future plans do you have?
Well, we're opening many branches around different metros, popular metros in Sri Lanka. Plus we're starting we have started different platforms like myfair.lk, which is our latest one. Then 2 years ago we launched mystore.lk, which is like Amazon. And we just about launched shopping.lk, which is another platform where we've tied up with suppliers from China. And there are 80 million products on this platform. And person can order, and within 1 month it's delivered to their house.
Finally, I'd like to ask you what it is to be in an internet business. What does it feel for you? Do you feel the risk? And right now, what does it feel to have a business and to be depending on that business?
Well, when we started, it was a very uphill task. Like I said, there were times that we thought, okay, we're going to quit because there were so many challenges that we were faced. But we stuck through it, and for us the main thing is doing things ethically, and being a bit humble in our approach towards doing something, and that has actually paid off. And it's good, but we have to keep on innovating. We have to keep on doing things that it's thinking out of the box all the time.
Right. But I'd like to go back to my question about how you feel to sustain on a business that is run on the internet.
Well, it's very nice. It's great. I mean, it's a great feeling, but it's it's a lot of hard work. It's not something that, you know, I can wake up in the morning and say, look, I need a holiday. It's very difficult to take a holiday because it's always work. And it's not like a 9 to 5 where your shop is open 9 to 5. There are orders being placed at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So it's all the time.
That wraps up Weekend Dialogue for this weekend, but thank you very much for joining us to discuss about your growing and successful business.
Thank you.
We had with us Mr. Kumar Melwani, who is the Chief Executive Officer of MyDeal.lk, joining us on Weekend Dialogue. Do stay with us. We'll be back with more on the other side of this break on Biz Roundup.
Welcome back to the Biz Roundup. The Board of Investment says it has signed 46 new investment agreements in June worth $982 million. The projects covering manufacturing, construction, mixed development, hotel, mini hydropower, trading, house, solar power, apparel, research and development and education sectors. The BOI said once they begin operating, these projects will generate an estimated 8,000 new direct employment opportunities. 11 agreements have been signed to set up new apartment complexes with investments worth $259 million, and it will generate 900 direct job opportunities. The manufacturing sector has attracted an estimated investment of $296 million, and it would generate 2,400 employment opportunities. Blue Ocean Venture Capital, based in Sri Lanka and Singapore, has unveiled a 2 billion rupee fund to help Sri Lankan startups to grow regionally and globally. VOV Capital said its target deals in the range of 100 to 200 million rupees, and the first investment will be announced within the next couple of weeks.
BOV Capital is a partnership between Prajit Balasubramaniam, Eric Vikramanayaka and Rajan Anandan. The fund has already raised 600 million rupees, and it will be enhanced with funding from limited partners in India and Singapore, in addition to the founding partners. BOV Capital is supported by Ambit Finvest, which is one of the leading investment banks in India.
I've been involved in seed funding, and today some of these companies have gone to the Series A level, and as a result we're launching this fund to meet that gap. We are looking at mainly tech startups because there are a lot of tech-savvy entrepreneurs in the country, and if you look at in the past, if you look at Millennium, LeapSet, they've all been companies that have scaled globally and got exits out there, and we feel that our tech entrepreneurs need this kind of funding to take it globally.
And that's a recap of the stories from the week. We'll see you again tomorrow on The State of Business. Until then, thank you for watching. Good night.